Hey, West of Lourdes here. I've recently been playing through a little game called MetAphor Refantasio, and one of my favorite parts of playing games like these on stream is that we get to do live analysis of the themes and characters and, metaphors of the game while we play. I usually make these into little clips, but I had so much content on this topic that it felt like it deserved its own video. We're talking about the Pagan Island arc. Spoilers, obviously. And now's your chance to turn back. In the Pagan Island arc, we journey to an island of three-eyed islanders who worship a pagan dragon god. We're going there in order to claim a lost relic in order to further our own ambitions, which really aren't relevant to this. Now, through the game, we are constantly meeting these tribespeople called Mustari, who routinely claim to be religiously oppressed by the state-approved Sanctist Church. The Sanctist Church being the Catholic Church. It's literally just the Catholic Church, except that all the accusations against it are true, particularly accusations of being controlled by the state and by conspiratorial groups trying to control the populace. The Mustari are so frightened by the church that for most of the game they refuse to even speak about their religious beliefs, lest the culture shock get them turned into some sort of inquisition. Now the game conditions us to get all fired up about religious freedoms and oppression. It really wants us to be upset that the Mustari are having their religious freedoms suppressed. Shouldn't they be free to practice their religious rites in peace? This all seems to make some kind of sense until you realize that the religious rite in question is, well, human sacrifice. Yeah, they sacrifice virgin priestesses to a dragon god who lives under a mountain in a temple rife with monsters in order to avert things like natural disasters, wars, etc. Now our goal, quite explicitly, is to prevent this sacrifice, which is all well and good, right? Except that the game goes out of its way to create some kind of moral equivalency between sanctism, aka Catholicism, and literal, actual pagan human sacrifices to what we know to be a false god. In fact, not only do they try to create some kind of moral equivalency, they even seem to suggest that the pagan faith is preferable. That it's better than sanctism, that it's better than Christianity, this religion that literally sacrifices people to dragons. Needless to say, there's quite a bit of contradiction and hypocrisy in all those claims, and so we're going to dive into that. Everything you see from this point on was recorded live on stream, so to be sure to follow on Twitch and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Delio, what's up with you? Doing what needs to be done? I didn't take you for the religious type. See more skill and morality that measures up. Eyes may not you two. The game's trying to have its cake and eat it too. It's trying to say on the one hand, the girl's about to sacrifice and we need to rescue her, but also, no judgment, all religions are equal, morality is subjective. Like, just shut up, dude. You can have it one way or the other, you can't have it both ways. It's like seeing sanctism in a mirror? How? How? Literally how? I'm baffled. I'm genuinely baffled here. How? In what way? Like, I know Atlas always has to get their Christianity bashing in. This doesn't make sense. This is the second time in this game it's like, oh, this is just like sanctism, aka Christianity. It's like, no, it's not. It's not at all. Like, if you want to level critiques, go ahead, but at least let them make sense. Ay, ay, ay. Let's give some thoughtful critiques. It's like middle school Reddit tier arguments. These homies on the same page. Like, yeah, we're not gonna let anyone die. The messaging of this game confuses me sometimes. I think the reason it confuses me is because it is confused. The game is confused. Because it's trying on the one hand to say that it's trying to hold two opposites in tandem. It's trying to say on the one hand there is a real morality and we have to be good people, and also morality is subjective. And you know, everyone should have their own religion, but also religion is meaningless. You're trying to balance things that can't be balanced. You can't have it both ways. The game keeps siding with a rigid morality because obviously, if you don't have a call to action, you can't have a game. If the game doesn't call you to do something, then there's nothing for you to do and you don't have a game anymore. But the messaging does not. The messaging does not reflect that.
5 minutes later.
Identity crisis. There we go. Crisis of purpose. But Yufa, you can serve your people better by living. That can be your purpose. Your rights are not acts of barbarism, but they also are, and I'm still going to prevent them. Okay, the game really can't pick a lane when it comes to this sort of thing. Pagan rituals are bad, but also pagan rituals are noble and good. But also they're devoted towards a false end, which makes them bad. But how can they be noble and good if they're devoted towards a false end? If the end of the act is ignoble, how can the act itself be noble? It's a contradiction in terms. And they can't pick a lane. They're trying to shut down the pagan culture while also saying pagan culture is good, maybe even better than European culture. They can't pick a lane. They can't pick a lane. It has to be one way or the other. But I guess it would be like a like a liberal to say that something can be true, something can be good and false at the same time, wouldn't it? The message of MetAphor: humans are the cause of all problems in the world. Yeah, who needs a god? Who needs religion? It's all ignorance and madness, and now we're truly free. The real God was just the evil of humanity. I hate this arc. I really do. And my fear is that this arc is going to be sort of the turning point for the remaining messaging in this game. Yeah, this arc is like mega limp. Almost embarrassingly so. Aren't we sick of the noble savage trope by now? I am. I am sick of the noble savage trope. I'm done with it. Sorry if I'm a little dismissive. It feels like a lot of the storylines either just very predictable or very dry, philosophically. Yep, we've killed the false god, and now the new god of liberalism and modernity will reign supreme and bring peace and communism to all the lands. And then we all danced around the bonfire listening to John Lennon's Imagine. Kumbaya, the end. You don't say. That's right, we didn't do any better. All religion is fake and gay. Imagine no religion. Imagine no war, dude. Aye. I've been having fun with this game, and it's still a fun game, but it makes me worry for Persona 6. Persona 5 was fake and gay, MetAphor is turning into fake and gay. What are the chances that Persona 6 isn't fake and gay? Wait, we support her without killing her? Unthinkable! We get it, I think. The world is filled with myriad faiths and beliefs, which is okay, because they're all fake and gay, and they only exist to give you fake comfort. Because otherwise, the crushing weight of existentialism would become too difficult to bear for the everyman. Religion is the opiate of the people, don't you know? Yeah, imagine trying to insist that there's a single truth that people should follow. Faith is not enough to move on. We must move onward and take action, comrade. We must bring in the new world order. Lord have mercy, what a pain. This single story arc has done more to sour me on this game than anything else. Used to. I don't know if I'll be able to turn my yapping about John Lennon and this game's views of religion into any shorts. I don't know that I could make it with enough context, but I will say, I mean, the game has always been... Shin Megami Tensei in general has been historically pretty anti-Christian. For no reason that I can discern. I've heard people talk about how Japan has a little bit of an interesting history with Christianity. And there seems to be a spirit, an attitude in Japan that views Christianity as being oppressive, even though historically Christianity has been more oppressed in Japan than vice versa. It's been more oppressed by specifically Buddhism, actually, more than Shintoism. more than vice versa. So I don't know where that sort of generational grudge comes from. And I knew from the get-go that this game was going to be very anti-church and anti-Christianity specifically. But this arc specifically really irks me, because it really does reek of that liberalism of, everyone should just be able to practice whatever they want. And there's no truth, man. And we're all able to choose our own path, and isn't that lovely? Unless the path is Christianity, in which case you're an awful, evil person and you should probably just kill yourself. That's what we're dealing with here. That's the attitude. Like, oh yeah, isn't it great that all of these faiths can just live in harmony? Unless you're a sanctist, in which case you're evil and you're irredeemable and you're a bad guy. You're 100% a bad guy, and you should probably just kill you. The world would probably be better off without you, because really, what good are you? That's what we're dealing with. That's the kind of hypocrisy that we're dealing with, and you see it on full blast. I know I commented in the moment where it's like, Yufa, I take back what I said. Your tradition of sacrificing virgins to a dragon at the bottom of a temple, in order to mitigate entirely unrelated disasters, natural disasters, and wars, that's not barbaric at all. It's just wrong. It's actually completely noble and completely good and totally justified. It's just wrong. Something cannot be noble and wrong. Something cannot be noble and false. Falsehood is ignoble by definition. So it's inherently hypocritical. Like, paganism is fine. Paganism is fine. Human sacrifice, that's totally cool. Human sacrifice is totally cool. Your traditions, they're totally cool, and your culture should stay exactly the same. But also, when you think about it, is a God that demands human sacrifices really worth worshiping? I'm not insulting your beliefs. I think your tradition is beautiful. I think your beliefs are beautiful and noble, and the evil white man has no right to interfere. But also, just sliding this in there, is that really a God you want to worship? Wouldn't you rather worship the god of fake gay communism? Doesn't that sound like a more merciful and kind God than one that demands human sacrifice? But if you want to do human sacrifices, that's cool. That's cool. That's totally your business. And I don't judge at all. In fact, insofar as I judge you to be superior. I judge your culture to be superior to ours. But don't you think your God is fake and stupid and dumb and selfish and evil? And don't you think you should just forbid religion entirely? But also, your religion is so beautiful, and your culture is so good, and we have no right to interfere. We have no right to dissuade you or try to tell you that you're wrong. But also, don't you think you're wrong? There's no way to make that work. There's no way to square that circle. And the game is trying, but its attempts just reveal the hypocrisy.